Who says politics is just about suits and speeches? Meet Bernie Sanders, the relentless fighter whose battle for equality began on the playgrounds of Brooklyn. What propels a man to trade the comfort of the sidelines for the heat of the political frontline? Does the fire of activism forge the steel of leadership? Join us as we trace the steps of Sanders from a neighborhood hero to a national icon and unravel the story of a man who's been shaking up the status quo for over half a century. Stay tuned as we delve into the life of Bernie Sanders, the unyielding voice of the people. Today, we're navigating through the life of a man whose voice has echoed through the halls of power for decades, Bernie Sanders. Born to Elias Ben Yehuda, Sanders and Dorothy Sanders on September 8, 1941, Bernie's early days in Brooklyn's Midwood laid a foundation for his fiery passion for justice. His upbringing, marked by working-class grit and the shadows of the Holocaust, sharpened his perspective on inequality from a tender age. While his family never reveled in luxury, they held rich values that Bernie carried into his public life. Bernie Sanders' path through the education system wasn't your typical tale of academic accolades and scholarly pursuits. Sure, he attended James Madison High School, where he captained the track team, showing his peers the first glimpses of his leadership potential. But Bernie wasn't the student acing every test. His grades were pretty average. The school of life educated Bernie, stirring a passion that books alone couldn't kindle. At the University of Chicago, Bernie's name wasn't topping the dean's list, but he was making his mark in more profound ways. He plunged into the civil rights movement, organizing protests for the Congress of Racial Equality and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. His activism on campus was a clear signal of his commitment to social justice. This wasn't just a phase, but the dawn of Bernie's lifelong dedication to equality and civil rights. By the time he graduated in 1964 with a degree in political science, Bernie had more than just a diploma. He had a direction, a cause to fight for, that would shape his entire career. Before the world knew him as a political figure, Bernie Sanders explored various professions, dipping his toes in diverse waters. He taught preschoolers in a Head Start program, providing an educational foundation for children who most needed it. He worked as a psychiatric aide, which opened his eyes to the complexities of mental health issues. His hands weren't shy of hard work either. He swung a hammer as a carpenter. But regardless of the job title he held, Bernie's true vocation was always clear: change maker. So Bernie Sanders didn't just wake up one day and choose politics as his career path. It was more like a natural next step after years of activism. He was already standing up for folks long before he thought about running for office. Then came 1981, a big year for Bernie when he became the mayor of Burlington, Vermont. Now, this wasn't just any old election win. It was a major upset. He won by just 10 votes. Imagine that just 10 people made the difference in starting his political journey. Bernie's win was like a signal to progressives everywhere that change was possible. As mayor, he was about something other than business as usual. He shook things up, making Burlington a better place for families and workers, not just the big businesses. And this was just the beginning. He then took his passion for the people to the U.S. House of Representatives and then to the Senate, where he's been speaking his mind and standing his ground as an independent, which is rare in U.S. politics. Bernie's always been about listening to the little guy, the average Joe, not just the ones with the big bucks. Moving on to his achievements, Bernie's time in office has been all about making a real difference. He's been at the front of the room regarding significant issues like healthcare and the environment. As chairman of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee from 2013 to 2015, Bernie worked tirelessly to improve the lives of veterans. And let's not forget about his run for president. In 2016, he started as the underdog, but he made waves. He won 23 primaries and caucuses against Hillary Clinton, which is no small feat, and he did it with a campaign powered by small dollar donations, not big corporate money. His 2020 presidential campaign brought even more attention to issues like income inequality and made them central to the national conversation. Bernie's campaigns showed that a lot of Americans were ready for a change, ready for policies that helped everyday people, Not just the top 1%. He didn't end up in the Oval Office, but left his mark on the Democratic Party, pushing it towards more progressive policies. Bernie has always been more about the journey than just the destination. He is all about fighting for what he believes in every step of the way. Away from the buzz of campaigns and the hustle of Capitol Hill, Bernie Sanders is just a regular guy with a family he adores. He tied the knot with his wife, Jane, in '88. They've been a team ever since. They've got a pretty big squad with 5 kids, making their home a bustling hub of family life. Levi's his only biological kid, but Bernie's never been one for technicalities. He's all in as a dad for Jane's 3 as well. Life's thrown its share of curveballs at Bernie, like losing his mom and dad when he was just in his early 20s. But those tough times, they didn't knock him down. They built up his resilience. That's the thing about Bernie. He's got this unshakable foundation thanks to the love and backing of his family. And no matter how far he's come, he's still got that Brooklyn heartbeat, that down-to-earth vibe about sticking together and looking out for each other. Bernie's personal life, it's not just a side note. It's the very thing that's kept him solid and pushing forward, no matter what. And that's the journey of Bernie Sanders, folks, a testament to relentless dedication to one's ideals. If you enjoyed this political odyssey, don't just sit there. Smash that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more riveting tales from the annals of American politics. Remember, every click and comment sparks a conversation, and every subscription brings you closer to the heart of American democracy. Join us again for another deep dive, and until then, keep the spirit of inquiry alive.